So, hi everyone. I want to share today my thoughts about soft skills of project managers. And today my topic is, can project management behavior be traditional project management skills? So, during my career in various industries, I saw many times when a project manager fails. And after these, how to say, let's call accidents, when project managers were fired, were replaced, or even totally ruined the project, I start to see some patterns why they are failing. And what comes a little bit of surprise at me that long years I'm thinking that, okay, if project manager can't do good planning, can do good budgeting, risk management, or stakeholder management, so then he will fail. But what I start to see today, that most of the time there are not the, let it call, hard skills of project management, but the soft skills. When project manager lose confidence with the project owners, he lack of delegation, he or she totally don't understand what are the main priorities of the project to the company, to the clients. And if you're looking at it now, understand that, okay, something comes to my head that not these traditional skills are only important. So there are some skills that project manager has to have if you want to increase the success of a project. For example, I have few thoughts from the real top managers who were told me when I asked them the question, okay, why this project manager failed, why you fired him or replaced him. So most of these examples is about a lot of paperwork but less of action, can handle his team conflicts, or don't even, how to say, not visible for the team, no leadership for the team. So my idea or my topic is to emphasize what is these skills, and with that I have 3 stories from my real life, from my past project about these skills. Okay, so 4 skills from my point of view, which are very important to project manager or who wants to be a good project manager. First of them is project manager has to be not only a manager or administrator, he has to be a leader, as I like to compare, like as a driver, like a car driver. He has to sit near the project wheel, not at the front passenger seat, not at the rear passenger seat, not even in the car trunk. It's, I would say, funny to tell, but I see a few examples when project managers sitting in project's car trunk and we're willing to go with the team to the project goals. And always this type of driving for project managers and not very well. So project manager has to be a leader, he has to be a driver, has to be a visible person in the project to drive a team to the result. Another skill, or like it called attitude, which I liked very much, is deadline is a deadline attitude. So what does it mean to me? So you deliver final project result or some tasks or your promises when you promise. If you promise, you deliver. And you spread this attitude to your real team, that your team could behave like that. And if you can't deliver, there are a lot of issues, could be problems to these deadlines. You can say that I made it 120%. I search for all options. I try many ways. Okay, I didn't provide the result, but I won't let the project deadline or some task deadlines go down the stream, and they said, oh, okay, there are some obstacles, let's move a deadline. And it's one time you move the deadline, and another time you move the deadline. So this attitude means that you can't let to do that easily, and you do everything and maybe more than everything you and your team can to reach the result. Third of it is understand priorities. It's important to understand that not every project has the same priorities for the company, for the team, maybe for the clients. Of some projects could be deadline, at some projects could be budget or scope, but in some projects could be neither. Could be, for example, quality of a project result. I have one example when in the big project I understand that, okay, you have to deliver by at the deadline, and we try to do with the team everything we can, and we delivered, but it was a little bit of fail because client who wants the result, for him it was better to have a result at the moment in good quality, and he maybe can last, he can not last, he can wait 1 or maybe 2 months, and he will be happy with a very good quality product, but not 2 months ago with very low quality product, or maybe not enough quality. So you need to understand what is priority and drive a team according to this priority. The fourth of it is to feel team climate and emotions. You are working with people, and every people has its emotions, has its needs. They like something, they don't like something. Every day they are happy, not unhappy. You have to understand not as your, how to say, resource, it's like a human resource, very cruel word, word to tell to your team, but you have to treat them like a individual person, and you have to understand what the emotions, what they like, what they dislike, because when the hard times comes, these emotions, these good or bad things can erupt like volcanoes, and it can, how to say, it can help you to reach your results you want. So, to sum up it, or to have some real examples, I have 3 stories from my life, and first of them is, let it call it, the deadline is the deadline. First thing that I heard about the deadline, what comes to my head is medieval, some nice big old castle, and it is my thought that, okay, if I would be project manager in medieval times, and the king or duke asked me, please, Andrius, build a castle in 2 years before winter. And what will be, and I started to think, what will be if I didn't build the castle, and after 2 years when the first snow comes in. So as I understand what is waiting for me, it will be this type of devices, or maybe a simpler one, but my head will be deadlined at the moment, and this master or duke will try to search another project manager. So what this project manager has to have in his skill set, so he has to do whatever he wants, he can, or what he can organize to deliver a result, because the consequences will be at his worst. Okay, and the story is about that in one company I have to lead a few project managers teams, and they were quite experienced project managers, and whenever time comes, young student who has to work within construction area with these construction guys, and you know, construction guys who can eat nails for breakfast. She has no experience in this area. She has no experience in project management. She was young, and I was a little bit pessimistic that maybe if she can deliver, if she can work with this team. But after a short period, team liked it. project manager endorsed him, and the client and the top managers also said that he is doing a good job, and I was okay, I was happy as her manager, and I started thinking, okay, and what is the secret of the success? And after a few one-to-one meetings, after a few common tasks, I understand that she had this deadline as a deadline attitude. She may be working in quite, soft way, but she had this attitude in a hard way. She do everything she can, she organizes, she communicates, maybe not everything what she was doing succeed, but if she said, she did. In another way, I have a parallel at the same time in the team guy who was almost at his retirement age. From the first view, it was like a little bit maybe too slow in his project management style, but project owners who were fast-pacing guys was happy with him, and I started wondering where is the secret with this guy, because okay, he's maybe old, maybe he's okay, a lot of experience, but maybe it's too slow. But I also start to understand that also he had the same attitude. Deadline is the deadline. Maybe he's walking a little bit slow, but he ensured that results will be delivered at the time he was promised. And I think most of managers, or maybe all managers, love this attitude. And if project manager and his team can't deliver it and they communicate much earlier, they give owners few options to choose, maybe to increase the success to meet deadlines. So they can do some preventive precautions, actions, and they can increase the success to meet the deadlines. But they don't let these deadlines, as I can call, go down the stream. And the kid said, okay, we have a lot of obstacles, let's move the deadline. So this is the first story about these deadlines. A very funny thing I had a few weeks before, one of my colleagues, when we were arguing about with some technical guy, and he was said that, okay, I can't promise when I will deliver this result. And we're asking, no, please, John, you have to set when you will deliver. In a week or in 2 weeks, I can set, okay, I will do my best, and I think in 2 weeks, I will deliver. And one of the managers said, okay, John, look, do you know, and said this golden phrase, as they call it, said, do you know a person who forgets to bring his child from the kindergarten during the night? Everything started to laugh and said, oh, okay, no one. So you know how to say what is important, and you know that you can't leave your children at the kindergarten, and you have to make a priority and do when you have to do, and take your kids at the time from the kindergarten. Okay, next story is about never giving up. As I said, that project manager is like a ship captain. When the hard time comes, when you have a lot of obstacles, project manager is a last person in the ship, like a ship captain who leaves the sinking ship. What it means that he do everything he can to find some ways to solve the problems, to manage issues, to manage conflicts. And they have very good example about it. First of all, in project, we have a situation that we are building a new logistics center, and a lot of equipment come to the site, and we with other project managers described what has to be installed here, what are dimensions of the equipment, conditions, other conditions like electricity and so on. And project managers was a little bit pessimistic about these documents and said, oh, Andrius, we're doing not the first time, it's everything clear. And I wasn't so optimistic, and they said, please guys, describe everything you can to avoid some big issues. And okay, we're done with dull phases, but after several months, project manager, let's call it Lucky, come to me and said, oh, Andrius, we have a big issue. Maybe it's a major or critical issue because the part which arrives last at this logistics center, it was too big to fit through the door. And it was a disaster at the project. And what are the solutions of the project? And it was only 2 of them. To cut this device, which is very precise rotating conveyor, and it's tall about 4 meters. And another option was to break a very new building doors, not the doors, the wall about 100 square meters. And of course, it was a problem with financial issues, time issues, and issues to lost a warranty for the building, which was finished weeks ago. And the supplier's project manager show, how to say, a braveness and come to managers and said, okay, guys, before you made the final decision, give me 1 day. I will think about these 2 scenarios, and they said which is most, how to say, or best for us. And he takes 1 day, and after 1 day, he come back with an answer, which of them is the best. And what do you think, which of them was the best? Yes, it was neither one. So the project manager said, screw it, and let's screw it through the door. And we made simple construction, put it on this construction, this part, and they screw it through the door because the difference between width of the door and this device, how to say, it was lack about 30 centimeters, so it was a good choice to do that. So of course, all managers were happy that the problem is solved, and this manager shows, how to say, this ability to not to give up, to search solutions in any situation. And as I call it, if you are not alone at the desert without any tool, so there are always an options where you can find a solution for any problem. The last story calls quite interesting, a kill, a knife, and a cake. It is about the team emotions. So in one of the projects, we were, how to say, at after a few days after project go live, and you know, is go lives that just your list, everything is not okay, client unhappy, employees unhappy, team is unhappy, managers in panic, emotions are very high. And in these days, one of the core team members was anniversary birthday. And the idea comes to my head that, okay, maybe we need to eat some cake because it's anniversary and it's a core team member. And I asked managers, okay, can we maybe eat the cake? He said, oh, Andrius, what do you think? What are you talking about? It's a hot time and no more cakes at all. But after a few hours, we said, okay, let's have it, but let's have it shortly. Okay, I prepared the cake. We come to this meeting. We are fighting every day. And the team members who previous weeks tell each other, I won't talk with you anymore, I will kill you, I don't want to live, I don't want to live with you or walk with you. They have to gather in the one meeting room. And when we gather in the meeting room, they surprise me. They surprise me because we can't prepare, because maybe they feel a little bit guilty to themselves, to the managers. Some of them brought home roasted nuts. Another one got the coffee from Circle K, and a third of them, the most pessimistic guy, even him goes to vending machine and grabs some snacks to all the team. But what was the most important thing, that one of the manager gifted the project owner a handmade knife made it by himself as a gift, as a, how to say, because we reached the milestone, we'll go live product, and it was like a wow moment in this meeting, like it's a magic moment that every team member has to start smiling, and it felt like we a team. Emotions started to change from the bad to the good. And this example shows me that after this meeting, yes, we have a lot of hard issues, a lot of bumpy road things, but the team emotion, the team climate has changed in a better way, and sometimes in like a funny way. And for example, if one team member said, "Okay, John, I will kill you," and John replies, "Oh, if you want to kill me, you have to ask Peter and to make the knife for you." And they start to laughing both, and these emotions, how to say, by this example were lowered, and good climate, it's how to be where and at the end of this project. So to sum up, take care of your team, treat them, and the team will reward you. To sum up, what is necessary to be a good project manager? If a young guy come to me and ask me, "Andrew, so what are the main things to be if you want to be a good project manager?" I have 3 things. So first of them is attitude. So attitude to be a leader, a captain, a driver who leads your team through all obstacles and all bumpy roads you need to succeed in the project. Second thing, it's a common sense to understand what is priority in your projects, or maybe in a particular project, and set up all your project according these priorities. Not only project, also your team, all your efforts you have from the company. And last thing, the team skills. You have to understand the team is not a bunch of people who are working by your tasks or by your requests. It's people who you have to treat them, take care of them, and we will surprise you by providing ideas, by providing you best result, and they fight for you when the hard time comes. And to sum up, if I had to bet on 2 project managers, one of them it will be an experienced guy with this set of skills, and on another side, experienced project manager with good planning skills, with good budgeting skills, risk management, and a lot of certificates. I will bet on the first one, because I believe that today's the soft skills and attitudes, common sense, it is most important for the project manager.